In terms of classification, the basketball jump shot can be defined as gross, discrete, and more closed than open.
We believe the motor skill is placed in category 2D.
Throughout the training program, quantitative and qualitative tests will be used to measure performance and see if there's any improvements. As a quantitative measure, a baseline test will be introduced at the start of the program. This test will consist of 10 jump shot attempts from the free throw line. As a qualitative measure, throughout the program, Christian as a coach will analyse the technique of the learner and give a rating of 1 to 10.
'Cause only two of you had dinner, found a credit card receipt. It's not right, but it's okay. I'll come back anyway. I come back up and away. Don't have to come running back to me. It's not right, but it's okay. I'll come back
Our learner is in the cognitive learning stage, so throughout the program we want him to transfer into the associative learning phase through skill improvement, and then obviously after the training program, hopefully he can get into the autonomous learning stage. Transfer attention and memory. So football, you handball, which transfers into shooting the basketball. Decision making in football, when to kick, transfers into when to shoot in basketball. Tracking the ball, so keeping your eye on your target when you're kicking, same keeping your eye on your ring when you're shooting. Spatial awareness, knowing where the opposition is, and it has a main factoring role in your decision making.
So phase 1 of the basketball jump shot is your stand phase, so you want your feet shoulder width apart. You want your dominant shooting hand behind the basketball and your opposite hand on the side of the basketball, so you're down like this. So phase 2 is the downward phase, so you bend your knees, you have wrist extension, shoulder flexion and elbow flexion. Phase 3 is the upwards phase, so you get into knee extension and elbow extension and wrist flexion.
Research suggests that practice sessions that are too long and infrequent will detriment optimal learning. It is suggested that practicing more frequently and for shorter sessions will lead to better learning results. Additionally, more research shows that mass practice has a damaging effect on performance, but does not reduce the amount learnt. Distributed practice prevents fatigue while enhancing cognitive effort and memory. Due to this, we selected distributed practice for Brayden's training program, as the short and sharp sessions allow for greater concentration periods and reduce fatigue. Practice variability is crucial for Brayden to perform the skill under different conditions in order to enhance his future experience. Regulatory and non-regulatory conditions can both be altered, which can both be seen here in the table. Research shows that lower contextual interference is beneficial at the beginning of the skill learning. However, as the subject becomes more comfortable with the skill, it's important to incorporate higher contextual interference to initiate better problem-solving skills. Blocked practice is beneficial for the fundamental development of the motor skill. However, random practice allows for greater retention of the skill.
So to start off the program, we're going to be getting Brayden to just be throwing the ball up to himself so he can practice the proper technique while jump shooting, just like this. And just repeatedly doing that. So week 1 drill, we're focusing on the basic gross motor skills of shooting a basketball. So you just be focusing on wrist flexion and elbow extension. So we're shooting one-handed with the dominant hand, and we're just shooting very close to the ring, up and trying to get the ball in.
Setting was used in the program before we would move on to the next more increased difficulty movements. So for week 1 and 2 we used the correct technique must be shown in every shot, and for week 3 and 4 we used 6 out of 10 of the shots must be made before you can move on.
So now that Brayden's got the basics better of shooting, we're going to go into a movement drill which includes dribbling. So 1, 2, up into the jump shot.
Verbal cues, demonstration and instruction. They focus on the technique of the movement. They are used during the game when the coach can't speak. They are straight to the point. It must be a phrase the athlete is likely to adhere to the behaviour of the coach. It uses self-talk when they think about what they need and used in time of thinking.
Extend your knees, remember to flick your wrists.
Augmented feedback is feedback relayed by an observer in relation to how the subject performs. These include both concurrent and terminal feedback, concurrent being during the performance, whereas terminal is after the performance. Feedback draws attention on the most important aspects of the skill. Research shows that verbal cues performed for unskilled subjects must be clearly associated with the movement. Excessively detailed cues are inappropriate for students in the cognitive stage. Whilst Brayden was performing his jump shots, he received both types of feedback. These included extend and flick, being the most common one, reach the high arc, and feet shoulder width apart. Research shows that demonstration on correct technique in conjunction with augmented feedback enhances skill understanding.
So remember to keep a high arcing follow through. So you want to be shooting up here, not like down here. So one of the last drills we'll be doing is a more complex drill. It's learning catching and shooting. So now that Brayden's mastered the basics of the jump shot, we're going to be doing a more complex drill which includes defenders and pressure. So now that Brayden's completed his program, we are going to conduct a transfer test. So we're taking shots from deep cone. So it's a very similar distance to the free throw jump shot, except it's just at a different angle, and therefore it's just testing whether you can transfer the ability to another area.